pictured Prince Andrew, Donald and Melania Trump at a party with billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein at the president's Florida Mar-a-Lago club in 2000. Jeffrey Epstein, Prince Andrew and the Trumps were at an event in February 2000. Mr. Trump was holding a celebrity tennis tournament at his club in Palm Beach. Andrew has returned from golfing retreat in Spain with ex-wife Sarah Ferguson. Royal source says Duke of York knows he has to come back and face the music by Mark Duell and Richard Spillett for Mail Online, published 1302 British Summertime. The 30th of August 2019, updated 1510 British Summertime. The 30th of August 2019, an astonishing photo has emerged of Donald and Melania Trump, Prince Andrew and disgraced billionaire Jeffrey Epstein all in the same shot at a party in the year Epstein's accuser claimed she was recruited to become a sex slave. Pictures from the event, held at Mr. Trump's Palm Beach club Mar-a-Lago in Florida in 2000, also show Ghislaine Maxwell, who has been accused of helping Epstein procure underage girls for sex. Virginia Roberts, who was at that time working as a towel girl pool assistant, has claimed that a few months later Maxwell recruited her to become a sex slave for Epstein. Donald and Melania Trump, Prince Andrew, Jeffrey Epstein, in the background, and Ghislaine Maxwell are pictured together at Mr. Trump's resort at Mar-a-Lago in February 2000. Mr. Trump and Melania pose with Prince Andrew at the same event. Andrew was Epstein's guest at Mar-a-Lago, and has come under increasing scrutiny as a consequence of the allegations made against Epstein. Maxwell denies involvement in the crimes of Epstein, and her whereabouts are currently unknown. Epstein, who was facing federal sex trafficking charges, died behind bars earlier this month in what the coroner ruled a suicide. But his death, rather than draw a line under questions surrounding his friendship with the world's rich and famous, have increased scrutiny of the extent of his contact with Prince Andrew and Donald Trump. Epstein's visits to Mar-a-Lago in the 1990s and early 2000s are well documented, but at some point, long before Mr. Trump became president, the pair fell out and he was banned from the resort. Mr. Trump said last month, "Yes, he and I did have a falling out a long time ago. The reason doesn't make any difference, frankly, but I haven't spoken to him in probably 15 years or more. I wasn't a big fan of Jeffrey Epstein, that I can tell you." Ms. Roberts, through her attorney, has said that Mr. Trump never had sex with her or any other underage girls that she is aware of. But the now 36-year-old accuser has said that Epstein forced her to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was just 17. Her allegations, which Andrew denies, were struck from U.S. civil court records in 2015 after a judge said they were immaterial and impertinent. Donald Trump is pictured with his then-girlfriend Melania Naus, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell at the Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, on February 12, 2000. The Duke of York has been keeping a low profile in the luxurious development of Soto Grande and playing golf at Valderrama, where he was pictured last Thursday. Latest pictures emerged as the Duke of York flew home on a private jet from a holiday in Spain for talks with royal officials over his friendship with the pedophile. Andrew came back on Wednesday after a 2-week golfing retreat in Soto Grande with his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson as the scandal involving Epstein intensified. A royal source told The Sun, Andrew and Fergie flew back together on Wednesday. He knows he has to come back and face the music. The optics were not a good look, with so many stories about the Epstein accusers while he was on a sunny golf course in Spain. He's having a series of talks with advisors this week about how to salvage his reputation going forward. Fergie remains entirely committed to him. Buckingham Palace has branded the allegations false and without any foundation, and said any suggestion of impropriety with underage minors by the Duke was categorically untrue. Virginia Roberts was photographed with Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell in early 2001. Yesterday it was revealed lawyers for Epstein's victims were considering bringing a lawsuit to pressure Andrew to give evidence in the long-running scandal. David Boies, chairman of a high-profile New York law firm, said the prince was continuing to delay and obfuscate over repeated claims he had sex with one of Epstein's teenage victims. Mr. Boys urged Andrew to agree to an informal interview, as it would be the best way for him to advance his interests if he really has nothing to hide. The lawyer said he has asked to interview the prince and is willing to travel to London to make the process more comfortable for him. But if this does not happen, Mr. Boys said he would consider bringing a lawsuit to pressure him and other associates of Epstein to give evidence under oath. Virginia Roberts, Center in Blue, arrives at a court in Manhattan, New York, on Tuesday with her lawyer David Boys. She sued Epstein in 2015, claiming she was held as his sex slave. Should Andrew ever set foot in the U.S. again, he could be ambushed with a subpoena. This would oblige him to give evidence on oath or face the threat of jail. One of the options is to bring a lawsuit, Mr. Boys said. I think we and other counsel in the U.S. are exploring what the options and possibilities are. I hope we don't have to go down that road, but we'd be willing to consider it. Mr. Boys represents a number of women who say they were abused by Epstein when they were teenagers. One of those is Miss Roberts, who claims that she had sex with Andrew on 3 occasions when she was 17 years old. She is now a 36-year-old married mother of 3 called Virginia Roberts Joffre. Ms. Roberts is one of 16 women who told a Manhattan court on Tuesday of their alleged abuse at the hands of Epstein and his friends. The friendship between Prince Andrew, left, and Jeffrey Epstein, right, goes back to at least 1999. They are pictured walking together through Central Park in New York in December 2010. The prince has strenuously denied having any form of sexual contact or relationship with Miss Roberts and has attempted to downplay his friendship with Epstein, who is suspected of killing himself in jail earlier this month at the age of 66. However, he has failed to answer continued questions about his behavior, particularly his frequent visits to Epstein's many homes across the U.S. If he would sit down and let everything come out and just come clean, this is the time to do it, Mr. Boys told Sky News. Continuing to delay and obfuscate, I don't think really is in his interest, because this is not going away. It's very hard to take the position that you were close and friendly with Epstein, and you were treating the mansion as your home away from home, yet you were totally unaware of what was going on. Mr. Boys said there has to be an explanation as to why Andrew attended so many of Epstein's parties and why he was photographed grinning broadly with his arm around the bare midriff of Miss Roberts in 2001. Friends of the Duke have insisted his lawyers have serious doubts about the veracity of the picture and say he is at the center of a witch hunt, but Sigrid McCauley, who also represents Miss Roberts, said the FBI has never questioned its authenticity. Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs also placed Virginia in London at the time the photograph was taken. Prince Andrew's denials, with the help of mass-informed friends and unnamed sources who have no real knowledge of the facts, are getting louder, but those atmospherics do not change the evidence and the facts. The bumper sticker denials Prince Andrew employs will gain him nothing when all the evidence is made available. Epstein, pictured in a prison mugshot in 2017 Buckingham Palisades, told the Mail this week that the Duke would be willing to help authorities if approached. What Courtier said, members of the royal family would always cooperate with the police in an appropriate way. However, this does not mean that he would be willing to be interviewed by lawyers for Epstein's victims. Last week it emerged that the Metropolitan Police had decided not to investigate claims first made in 2015 that the prince had sex with Miss Roberts, but the FBI is investigating both the claims against Epstein and the circumstances around his death. Read more. Let's blog ads. Why?